Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I was wondering what video I should make this week, and considering how I made a few Kibbe videos in the past in my channel, I figured, hey, let's do another Kibbe video, but this time, speaking about the biases I have seen in the Kibbe community, the gatekeeping, and just generally things I did not care about, and why I have left the Kibbe community officially. First, obligatory disclaimer. Obviously, this is my opinion and this is my perspective. If you like Kibbe and if you like the community, have fun, enjoy it, by all means, please continue to do so. This is just a video on why I left and why I did not like the things that I have seen. First, the whole Kibbe system is literally about your outer appearance. It's about your body type, how to look your best, what kind of fashion, what kind of dress, what kind of top, what kind of jeans that you should wear, what kind of body shape do you have, what hairstyle you should stylize on yourself. And overall, it's basically a very artificial, superficial kind of community to be in. It's literally about your outer appearance. Feelings are bound to be hurt. Self-esteem is bound to be damaged if you have low confidence in yourself. Unless you are 100% confident and self-assured in your looks, your vibe, your aesthetic, Kibbe can be not fun. Now, I am not someone who has crippling self-esteem. I've made peace with the way that I look. But when you are surrounded by this kind of environment with like how the system makes you, oh, you need to have this kind of pattern on your shirt, or you need a pixie cut to look your best. There's just so much work involved to look good according to one man's opinion. I don't have the money to suddenly completely change my wardrobe because I have found my type. And let's say if I cut my hair because I thought I was this or that type. Number two, anyone who has been in the Kibbe Facebook community, strictly Kibbe, and then David Kibbe does these type reviews, where on one side, that person dresses in the most unflattering way possible, with an unflattering posture, unflattering face, and then on the other side, where she or he dresses for her correct type, they're literally just wearing something that makes them look, or anyone look, nicer. It's like a more colorful shirt, a more colorful pair of pants, and they're obviously wearing makeup and smiling brightly. So the overall effect is obviously gonna make that side look better than that side, and it shows that, oh, that's their correct type. They look so much happier here. It makes no sense to me. It's all about camera, face. It's all about angles. Like, you're taking one unflattering pic, comparing it to one flattering pic, and that's how you go from whatever to your correct type. Sorry, I hope this doesn't offend anyone, but it's stupid to me. Number three, you become obsessive over your type and your body. Wanting to know how to look good is fine. I like looking good. But I think it's unhealthy when you start spamming a lot of your pictures, your face, your body, you in different outfits over and over in whether it be the Kibbe Reddit subreddit or the Kibbe Facebook community, and be like, hey, what's my type? And you can get all sorts of different answers. You can get a majority vote on one type, and that type is probably not even your type. there's so much nuance that go into this. I remember when I first started being introduced to Kibbe, I thought it was fun because it's a very niche community and there's not a lot of people who know about it. So I had fun at the beginning, and I also spammed my pictures into these communities and be like, hey, what's my type? Whether you admit it or not, there are specific types out there that you unconsciously want to be, or you hear about like the body shape that you're supposed to be this type, or what kind of fashion looks good on this type, and you gravitate towards that type. And when someone tells you that you're not that type or some other type that you have a resistance to, you don't feel good about yourself, right? You suddenly feel bad. You don't feel. It feels like, oh, they're trampling on my identity. You know, there's a resistance, and then you become obsessive over it. You become obsessive over what you look like, and then you don't feel good about yourself. Or let's say you do get the type that you want, you feel too good about yourself, and you start being like, oh, I need to wear this with this necklace, with that earring, with that hat to look the ideal version of a soft dramatic or a flamboyant natural. And I'm that type of person where once I get into something, I get into it. I really get into it. I do my research. I look at every single details. I am hyper detail oriented, and that turns me to gradually become more obsessive over myself, what I look like, what my eyebrows look like, what my boobs look like, yada, yada, yada. And if you're not that kind of person, if you're that type of person who can remain detached and just see this community or that community as a hobby and be totally detached, objective, and you don't let it get to you, then all the power to you, you know. Number 3. I've spoken enough about this before, but I cannot stand the Kibbe subreddit on Reddit. It's such a huge circle jerk. People can be so rude. You say one unpopular opinion that goes against the crowd, you get downvoted to death. I think people there, like a good majority that I've seen, there are some people on there that can be so juvenile. I try to never engage myself in drama. And I prefer to stay away from arguments when I can help it, but I'm also the outspoken and opinionated type, and I can't stay in any community that makes me mad. There's so much gatekeeping and there's so much misinformation. There are people who just downright argue Kibbe's system and its rules to insist people to be this type, whatever they think, and there's so much gatekeepers. A good majority of the members on Kibbe on Reddit are theatrical romantics and romantics. Now, as you may know, theatrical romantics are one of the most coveted types out there. A lot of people want to be theatrical romantics, and so when people who discover that they're theatrical romantics, well, they tend to definitely be kind of arrogant about it, and they will gatekeep the shit out of being theatrical romantic or romantic. There's a lot of romantic girls on Kibbe who can be kind of stuck up, and I don't know. There's this pretentious vibe that I have seen from them. Didn't say anything, but I'm saying it now in this video, and if that's you, sorry, not sorry, but obviously this is not everyone, but I've seen a good amount of them to have to say this in a video. Any person that people are not sure what type they are, they immediately get tossed in the flamboyant gamine category. It's so easy to type people as flamboyant gamine. They just need to be slim, have features that people can't pinpoint, and then they immediately get thrown in the gamine category. It's even worse when you are Asian. If you are an Asian girl with no obvious extreme curves, like an extreme hourglass, you are more likely to be tossed in the gamine category, because gamines are supposed to be cute and petite and boyish looking, and if you're Asian, you're kind of automatically kind of seen as that stereotype. Petite, cute, must be gamine, haha. Projection. Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. Kibbe, like I said in my first point, is about outer appearances. So lots of women are gonna gravitate towards this community. And even more, women who also have issues with their own body or have preconceptions about whatever, and it has to do with their own body. And so when people ask what their type is, or when people like insist that they are this type or that type, there will always be someone or a lot of people who be like, what? You cannot be that type because I'm that type and I don't look like you. It's happened to me a few times. For example, I once posted a video about me turning out to be a soft natural and not a gamine. And regardless of the fact that I laid out my data, my own analysis, the fact that I know my own body, the fact that I know what I look good at, what I look good in, what I feel comfortable with, what kind of aesthetic I feel comfortable with, whatever that I think looks most flattering to me. There will always be people, now this is not everyone, most soft naturals, other soft naturals except me, you know, they agree with me. But then there will be people who are like, what? You can't be soft natural, dead ass. I had a comment that says, you can't be a soft natural, I'm a soft natural. And before you say anything, I know I'm a soft natural. And in my opinion, you're not a soft natural. So you insist that you are a soft natural, but God forbid someone else also do the same thing. And then she says, my shoulders are wider, my hips are bigger than yours, which makes my waist look more tapered than yours, and you don't have that. Nice humble bragging. Basically, there's this projection where, because of their own bodies, they kind of lay it out on other people and tell them they can't be that type, or they're probably this type because of their own view and perspective of their own body. Don't lay your projection on me. I have enough issues, enough as it is. Just don't put your problems on me. Deal with it on your own. Right, okay, so back to what I said about obvious bias for specific types. So there are two specific Kibbe types that are completely worshipped by the vast majority of the audience. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with this. Except there is so many things wrong with this. Kibbe is supposed to be inclusive. It's supposed to be inclusive for all people to feel their best, and it's been established that each type have their own beauty and their own uniqueness. But for some reason, there are two types that everyone wants to be and kind of held as the ultimate beauty ideal, and everyone wants to be this type. There are a lot of aesthetic mood boards in the Kibbe community that people love to make to show, you know, the essence of each type. It's just to have fun. It's to have fun. These picture collages are to motivate people, show them their fashion, their makeup. It's a collection of pictures. And sometimes people have like real good fun with it, like which Greek goddess is which Kibbe type, for example, and then they will assign a Greek goddess with a specific type, and then they will make a mood board based on that aesthetic or that whole palette kind of colors. Without fail, the most upvoted posts will always be for romantics, theatrical romantics, and soft dramatics. It's clearly a coveted body type in a community, and that is the extreme hourglass figure. Every time I see someone post a picture of themselves and their body, the ones with the very big, like very emphasized hourglass figure, medium to bigger boobs, snatched waist, big butt, big hips, are always the most complimented bodies out there. If you look anything but that, people aren't gonna care. Like, with these, there's an obvious bias, you know, when you see these bodies, people are immediately like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're definitely a soft dramatic, you're definitely a theatrical romantic, you're so pretty. And anyone who looks natural, aka, you know, a more straight ruler figure, or a more skinny body, like Gamin, people are not gonna really care about you at that point. Or if you're overweight, people aren't gonna care about you. And it doesn't sound like it's a big deal now, but when you are in that community and you're already feeling shit about yourself, and that kind of subtle microaggression, maybe microaggression is too harsh of a word, but that kind of environment where there is a coveted body type and coveted Kibbe type that people want to be, and all the great fashion are given to them, and not a lot of attention is given to your type, obviously it's discouraging, and you're gonna have a lot of resistance towards specific types because it's not seen or talked about as much. And then there's this subtle feeling that, oh, we're not as good looking as people of that type. It's not true. Every single type have their own beauty. There's so many beautiful natural women out there. A lot of the women that I admire in terms of looks in real life are natural women, specifically flamboyant natural. They are done so dirty in the Kibbe community. They're painted as broad, therefore they immediately think they're masculine. And, oh, I'm masculine must mean I'm not attractive. No, you are 100% attractive. It's just that the community don't really pay attention to you as much as other types. They don't really well, other than soft Gamin, they don't really pay attention to flamboyant Gamin either. I wish that women with more of a straight body with not as obvious curves also get the encouragement, the motivation, and the compliments that they deserve, but it's rare. And for me, at the time I was facing some body dysmorphia, and at the time I wanted to look like an extreme hourglass because it was seen as the ideal, and that did not do anything good for my mental health, and seeing all that didn't do anything good for my mental health. Luckily, I am at a better place now where I am okay with how I look, and I just want to be healthy and happy. But I can't be in that environment again because I don't know how fast it's gonna come back to me just like that. That's pretty much it. I just don't... Fashion's fun until it's not fun. Talking about makeup and dresses and shoes is fun until it's not fun. And discussing body types can be interesting until it becomes damaging. So I don't want to put myself in that headspace anymore, and that's why I had to leave the Kibbe community. It's just not something that interests me anymore. It's not something that I can go in and genuinely have fun with anymore, unless I am, you know, just conversing around with the good friends I have that I made from that community. Anyway, I hope this video did not offend anyone, but it's bound to offend someone. Let's be realistic here. Yeah, but that's about it. That is why I don't want to be in the Kibbe community anymore.